Hello dear all, this is Sadanand Kumar Malik. Welcomes you all in entire physics, and today in our lecture we will study about the Newton's rings experiment of interference of light. Means here in the field of interference which experiment had been performed by Newton, today we have to see. Actually, Newton's ring experiment is based on the interference of light in case of wedge-shaped film, as we studied in our previous lecture. Wedge-shaped film means where both the surface are oriented with some angle. Means here, suppose this is a wedge angle theta and this is the film having the refractive index mu. Means here it is upper surface and this is lower surface of the film and having the angle theta between the upper and lower surface. This type of film is known as wedge shaped film, and Newton's rings experiment is based on this type of interference. So here let's see the experimental arrangement of Newton's ring experiment. So here actually in case of Newton's ring experiment we have a plain glass plate. Suppose this is a plain glass plate P, and above this glass plate there is a convex lens placed. Means here there is a convex lens, means one surface is convex and the other is plane. So it is known as plano-convex lens is placed upon P such that the convex surface just touches to the glass plate. Means suppose this is the convex surface which just touches to the glass plate and the plane surface is above. So this is known as plano-convex lens. Suppose its name is L. Then between the convex surface of plano-convex lens and the glass plate P, a wedge-shaped film is formed. So here suppose this is the angle theta, that is wedge angle. Suppose this is wedge angle theta. Now there is a arrangement of another plain glass plate which is oriented or inclined with angle of 45 degree with the vertical as well as horizontal. So here another glass plate P dash is oriented such that its angle from vertical and horizontal is 45 degree. Actually it is used to incident the parallel light beam on the wedge shaped film that is formed between plain glass plate P and the convex lens L. Now let us consider a broad monochromatic source S. Means from here a parallel beam of monochromatic light is made incident to the glass plate P. By this way, then after striking at the glass plate P dash, because its orientation is 45 degree, so it will get reflected vertically downward. It will get reflected vertically downward, and when strike on the upper surface of wedge shaped film, means convex surface of the plano-convex lens, then a few part of light gets reflected from here and a few part of light gets refracted from here, and striking with the lower surface gets reflected from there, and by this way we have two light sources. Means let's see again here what is going on. Let us consider a source of light. From here a parallel beam of monochromatic light is made incident on the glass plate P dash. Now striking the glass plate P dash, it will become vertically downward and moves towards the wedge shaped film, and from the upper surface a few part of light gets reflected and the remaining light gets refracted and again gets reflection from the lower surface of film, means from the glass plate and will become this type of rays. So we have two parallel monochromatic light rays. Suppose their name is AB and CD. So here we have two parallel beam AB and CD which are formed by partial reflection and partial refraction. So here the ray AB and CD are allowed to interfere to one another, and their interference pattern may be seen by a microscope, by a traveling microscope. Suppose M is a traveling microscope where we can observe the interference pattern. So this was the experimental arrangement of Newton's rings experiment. Now let us see the path difference between the light ray AB and CD which are allowed to interfere. So as we have studied in the previous topic, the path difference in the reflected part is given as delta is equals to 2 mu t cos r plus theta, as we have studied equation number 1. Suppose, so here because we are using this formula directly, so let's give the explanation where mu is the refractive index of the film between convex surface and plain glass plate. In case of air, its value is equal to 1. T is a thickness of film at the point of incident. At the point of incident. And R and theta. R is the angle of refraction and theta is wedge angle. Now let us discuss about the Stokes law of reflection. Actually, Stokes law of reflection will be used in Newton's ring experiment. So let us discuss about Stokes law of reflection. Stokes law of reflection. Actually, according to Stokes law, if a light ray gets reflected from the surface of denser medium, means suppose this is a media having refractive index mu and which is denser than the material of refractive index 1, suppose air. Then suppose this is a light beam which is made incident on this media, and suppose this is normal. Then this incident light ray will be reflected from the surface of denser medium. Then in the reflected light, an additional path difference of lambda by 2 is produced. It means that this reflected light ray which is reflected from the denser surface will leads ahead by a path difference of lambda by 2. It means that suppose from point O to P, T time is required. From point O to P, T time is required to travel this distance. Okay, needs the time T. Then in the absence of this media obviously this light will move in the same direction. So at the same time duration t in this direction, the unreflected light will travel a distance which will be OP minus lambda by 2. Is it clear now? Actually, if the light is moving from S to this direction without any reflection, then from point O to this point it will travel a distance that is less than lambda by 2, less than by lambda by 2, that is traveled in the reflected part. So here we can say when a light gets reflected from the surface of a denser medium, then it will leads ahead by a path difference lambda by 2. So this was Stokes law of reflection, and here in our case Stokes law of reflection will be used. Let's see how. So here actually beta, now the light ray AB, look here in the figure, the light ray AB, the light ray AB is reflected from the surface of air, so no additional path difference will be produced in AB. But the light ray CD, here the light ray CD is reflected from the surface of glass plate, that's why it will leads ahead by a path difference of lambda by 2. Therefore in our case the path difference between AB and CD will be 2 mu t cos r plus theta plus lambda by 2. So here the final path difference between AB and CD will be 2 mu t cos r plus theta plus lambda by 2, where lambda is the wavelength of used monochromatic light. So let's define it, where lambda is the wavelength of used monochromatic light. So in our formula, let's see how we can modify it. In equation 1, let's try to modify it, because in our case, in this case the light is made incident normally. Therefore the angle of incidence I will be equal to 0 and the angle of refraction will be 0 also. Also because large radius of curvature of plano-convex lens. Actually radius of curvature means the radius of that sphere from where this plano-convex lens is taken out. Means suppose we have a large sphere like this. Okay, suppose we have a sphere and its center is there. Obviously plano-convex lens is taken as a cross cut. This is a cut off. So this portion here, this portion will behave as a plano-convex lens. So its radius of curvature means this separation, this radius, that is the radius of sphere. It is known as radius of curvature for the plano-convex lens. So here due to the large radius of curvature, this curved form, this convex form will nearly be equal as a plane. That's why we can say that the angle, wedge angle theta, means for large radius of curvature, for large radius of curvature, the wedge angle theta be nearly equal to 0 also. So we have r equals to 0 and theta equals to 0. So our formula may be written as, so equation 1 may be written as, at the place of r we have to put 0 and at the place of theta again we have to put 0. So our formula will become delta is equals to 2 mu t cos 0 plus lambda by 2. Again here delta is equals to 2 mu t plus lambda by 2. So suppose this is equation number 2. Now let's see the shape of interference fringes which will be found from Newton's rings experiment. So here shape of fringes we are going to study. Shape of fringes means which type of interference fringe will be found. So here we will use the concept of path difference, means as we have studied for maximum or bright fringe, for maximum intensity or bright fringe. Suppose case first for bright fringe, or bright spot. For bright spot we know path difference delta should be equals to n lambda. It means that equation 2 means 2 mu t plus lambda by 2 should be equal to n lambda. Implies then here that is 2 mu t is equal to, let us transfer this lambda by 2 to the right hand side, then obviously we have n lambda minus lambda by 2, or we can say 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. 2 mu t should be equal to this. Equation number 3 means we can say here for bright spot 2 mu t should be equal to odd multiple of lambda by 2. Similarly, let's apply the second case. For dark fringe or for dark spot. For dark spot we know the path difference delta should be equals to odd multiple of lambda by 2, means 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Therefore our path difference 2 mu t plus lambda by 2 should be equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Let's solve it. Then implies then we can write, let's transfer this lambda by 2 to the right hand side, then 2 mu t will be, here let's multiply this lambda by 2 inside, then we have n lambda plus lambda by 2 and minus this lambda by 2 minus lambda by 2. So lambda by 2 and lambda by 2 will be cancelled out, and here we have implies then we have 2 mu t is equal to n lambda. This is equation number 4, suppose. So for dark spot it is concluded that 2 mu t should be equals to n lambda, means integer multiple of lambda. Integer means 0. Here the value of n will be equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. These are the values of integer n. So from equation 3 For bright spot 2 mu t should be equal to odd multiple of lambda by 2, and for dark spot 2 mu t should be integer multiple of lambda. By using this concept, let us consider the point of contact. Point of contact means at where the point of contact means this is the point of contact, means where the convex surface of the plano-convex lens and the glass plate P just touches to one another. Obviously, at the point of contact, the thickness of film T will be equal to 0. So at the point of contact, thickness will be equal to 0. So we are going to find the condition of spot at the point of contact. Means the light which will reflected from the point of contact will give which type of spot. Let's see. So in case third, at the point of contact, we know thickness T is equal to 0. So from equation 3 and 4, the nature of spot depends on the value of 2 mu t. So let's try to find in third case also the value of 2 mu t. So therefore 2 mu t will be equal to, because t is 0, so 2 mu t will be 0, or we can write it 0 into lambda. So here 0 is integer, means n, so here the condition 2 mu t equals to n lambda is fulfilled, and this is the condition of dark spot. So here the point of contact will give dark spot. Now to study about the shape of fringe, let us consider the vertical view of this arrangement. Vertical view means if we see from the microscope M, then which type of appearance will be there. So in the vertical view, the glass plate will be circular also, and the plano-convex lens will be appeared also circular. This type of view we will find when we see vertically downward, and this is the point of contact where the thickness of the film is 0. So let's see which type of fringes we will find. So with the help of case 1, case 2, with the help of case 1, case 2 and case 3, let's try to find the shape of fringes. So because we have three conditions. First, if 2 mu into t is equals to n lambda, then dark, and if 2 mu t, if 2 mu into t is equals to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, then it is bright. And at the center or point of contact, always it is dark, always dark. So by using these conclusions, let us try to calculate let us try to find the shape of fringes. So suppose this is the plain glass plate. This is the plain glass plate, and above this plain glass plate the plano convex lens is kept such that, so suppose this is the plano convex lens, and this is the point of contact. So here we will use red color for bright and green color for dark in this figure. So obviously at the point of contact we will find a dark fringe. So here this point of contact will be dark. So there is a dark fringe. Let's see, when we move away from the point of contact, then what will happen? Actually the thickness of the film is increased. Now at the point of contact, due to the zero thickness, the fringe is dark. Then obviously if we increase the thickness, then the condition of bright fringe will be fulfilled. So here in this point, suppose the thickness is such that at this point the thickness is such that the bright spot is found, and because if we draw a circle by taking this radius, then each point of the circle will have the same thickness, so each point will have the same nature, and we will find a bright circle. Similarly, again moving away from the point of contact, we will find the bright circle, because dark circle, because the condition of dark circle will be fulfilled, or dark spot will be fulfilled on changing the thickness. So here this is the dark circle. Now again bright circle, then again dark circle, then again bright circle, again dark circle. It means that as we change the thickness of the film, condition of dark and bright circles are varied. So in the entire film we will find alternate bright dark circles, and these alternate bright dark circles are known as Newton's rings. Read, for shape of fringes the thickness of the film is responsible. Means here, because shape of fringes and thickness of film, let's see how the shape of fringes and thickness of films are related to one another. So to study about this, let us draw a figure such as the vertical view of the Newton's ring experiment setup. So just as in the vertical view, let's draw, suppose this is the plain glass plate, and obviously above this plain glass plate there is a plano-convex lens of its surface touches to the glass plate. So suppose this is a plano-convex lens placed upon the plain glass plate. Now this is the point of contact, suppose this is the point of contact. Then obviously if we take a particular distance from the point of contact, means suppose at this distance, obviously at this distance whatever is the thickness at point, suppose this is point O is the center point of contact, then at point A obviously whatever will be the thickness of the film at point A will be same. Means if we draw a circle taking OA as radius, then in the circumference of this circle each point will have the same thickness of film. Now as we have seen, at the center, at the point of contact, the dark fringe at the point of contact, because t thickness is equal to 0. So here we can say 2 mu t is equal to 0, or we can write 2 mu equals to 0 lambda, means integer multiple of lambda. 2 mu t is equals to integer multiple of lambda, and this is the condition of dark spot. So here at the point of contact we will find a dark circle. Okay, so suppose the dark circle, so here suppose green lights are used to set dark circle, so here you will get a dark circle by this way. Now as we move away from the point of contact, then what will happen, let's see. Actually on increasing the thickness, obviously the value of 2 mu t will vary, and now the value of 2 mu t will become, because at the point of contact its value is integer multiple of lambda, means 0 lambda. Now on increasing the thickness before reaching 1 lambda, on increasing the thickness before reaching the value of 2 mu t as 1 lambda, its value will be 1 upon 2 lambda. Okay, its value will be 1 upon 2 lambda. So suppose before reaching 1 lambda, let's see, before reaching 1 lambda, 2 mu t equals to 1 lambda, its value will be 2 mu t equals to 1 upon 2 lambda, or we can say odd multiple of lambda by 2, means this is the condition of bright fringe. So obviously as we increase the thickness from the point of contact, now the condition of bright fringe will be satisfied. So here at this point we will get a bright spot, and obviously if we draw a circle by taking this point as circumference, means here we will get a bright circle. By this way we will get a bright circle. Again on increasing the thickness, what will happen during the change in the thickness, now its value will acquire 2 mu t equals to 1 lambda. Then here we will get a dark circle, means dark spot, and the circumference will give dark circle. Now again increasing the thickness, what will happen on increasing the thickness, the value of 2 mu t will vary, and it will become the odd multiple of lambda by 2. Now here we will get a bright spot, and let us draw a circle, then this type of a bright circle will be found. Similarly again a dark circle, and again a bright circle is found. So by this way we can say that dark bright circles we will find on the film. So these are the shape of fringes in case of Newton's rings experiment, and obviously the fringes are circular and means in shape of rings. That's why these circular fringes are known as Newton's rings. Hello, now let's see how we can find the wavelength of the used monochromatic light by Newton's ring experiment. Now let's see, to find the wavelength, actually here we have to consider the sphere. We have to consider the sphere from where the plano-convex lens is find out. So let us try to find. Then obviously let us find this is the sphere. Suppose this is the sphere. Okay, and this is the center of the sphere, and suppose the plano-convex lens is find out by taking a cut from its side. So suppose this is the plano-convex lens, suppose this is the plano-convex lens. Now this is the plano-convex lens, suppose. Similarly, because the plano-convex lens, and this is the radius of curvature. Suppose this is the radius of curvature, capital R. and this plano-convex lens, suppose the center of sphere is C. Now this plano-convex lens is kept upon a plain glass plate. So suppose this is a plain glass plate. So this is a plain glass plate P, this is the plano-convex lens L. So by this way we have got the structure, experimental setup again. Now let's see, capital R is the radius of curvature. Okay, now obviously from, let us see, this is the point of contact, suppose O, and from point O to, suppose there is a point P, there is a point P where the nth fringe is formed. So let us suppose at point P where the thickness of film, is small t, and here the nth ring is formed. So nth ring means it may be bright or dark also. So suppose at point this, the nth ring is formed. Then suppose the radius of this ring, is Rn. Okay, now let us draw a line from C to, suppose this point is Q, and let us draw this type of line. So here we have got a right angle triangle CQP. Now obviously from CP means radius of curvature R, and QP is considered as Rn, radius of nth ring. Now obviously this CQ, the separation CQ will be, obviously CO is equals to capital R, so CQ will be R minus T. So by this way we have got right angle triangle having three sides. CQ means R minus T, QP means Rn, and CP means capital R. So let us try to solve this right angle triangle. So here let us apply the Pythagoras theorem here. So in triangle CQP, let us see, then in triangle CQP we have R is equals to, we have capital R square is equal to R minus T whole square plus Rn square. Now let's solve it. Then we have got capital R square is equals to R square plus T square minus 2RT plus Rn square. Now here obviously this R and this R will be cancelled out, and obviously here left hand side we have 0, and on right hand side T square. Actually T square means thickness of the film. Obviously the because of the very large radius of curvature in the film, this curved surface will be same as the plane surface. That's why this thickness T will be small enough. Obviously if T is small, then T square is negligible. T square is negligible. So in our derivation, let's see, here this T square may be neglected. So we have only minus 2RT plus Rn square. Now let's solve. Let us transfer this in left hand side. Then we have 2RT is equals to Rn square, or we can say Rn is equals to under root of 2RT. Therefore dn is equals to 2 times under root of 2RT, or dn square is equals to 4 into, means here we have 8RT. Here dn square is equals to 8RT. Suppose this is the equation A, suppose. Now let's see how we can solve it. So let us consider the next page here. Then now now let's see how we can solve it. So we have in this diagram we have dn square is equals to 8rt. dn square is equals to 8rt. Now because 8 and r are constant and only the thickness is variable, so here t is variable only. Now for bright and dark rings, to find the diameter we have to find the value of thickness. So what will be the value of thickness? So we have the condition, okay, we have the condition for first for dark spot. For dark spot we have 2 mu t equals to n lambda. So from here implies then t, because we have to find t, so here t equals to n lambda upon 2 mu. So let's substitute this value of t in this equation, suppose A. So we have the diameter of nth dark fringe means dn square will be equals to 8r as it is. At the place of t, let us substitute this value. So n lambda upon 2 mu. Let us solve it. Then we have 2 4 the 8. So here we have dn square is equals to 4r n lambda upon mu. Now suppose this is equation B, and obviously we have the value of diameter, the value of diameter for nth dark fringe. Now let us consider two dark rings as nth and n plus pth. Therefore the diameters of nth is given by equation B, and the diameter of n plus pth means dn plus p whole square will be equals to, because here 4r lambda mu all are constants, only n is variable, so in place of n we have to substitute n plus p. So 4r n plus p lambda upon mu, equation number C. So let us try to find the difference of their diameters, means dn plus p whole square minus dn square will be equal to, obviously 4r lambda upon mu, 4r lambda upon mu are constant in both, so let us take them common. So 4r lambda upon mu is taken common. Under kostak we have n plus p minus n and n will be cancelled out, we have only p. So here d n plus p whole square minus dn square is equal to, we can write 4pr lambda upon mu, because here we have to calculate the wavelength. So leaving the wavelength here, all the terms should be transferred to left hand side. So we have lambda is equals to, we get mu times d n plus p whole square minus dn square upon 4pr. Now this is the equation number D, suppose. So by this equation let's see how we can find the wavelength. So in this equation we have, look here beta, mu is constant, and in case of air its value will be 1. So suppose mu will become 1. Now 4 is constant, r will be given, radius of curvature will be given. Now here only p is the order of fringes, means if you consider nth fringe as 5th fringe, then 5th plus 3 suppose 8th, next fringe you have considered suppose 8th fringe, then how we can find the value of p? The difference between 8 and 5, that is 3. So here P may be find out, and dn plus P means radius of the the diameter of the n plus pth ring, and dn is the diameter of nth ring. Now let's see how we can find it. So how we can find it, beta? Because the rings will be found like this. Suppose this is the n plus pth dark fringe, and suppose this is the nth dark fringe. So how we can, and this is the point center, this is the center. Then how we can find it? So in the microscope, first of all we have to take the crosswire focused on this point, and the reading should be calculated. Suppose this is the reading A1. Similarly, now by moving this traveling microscope, let us focus its crosswire at there, and again note down the reading. Suppose it is A2. Now A2 minus A1. Now A2 minus A1 will give the diameter dn. Similarly, now let us, on moving the traveling microscope, let us focus the crosswire here. So we get C1, and by focusing here, suppose C2. So here C2 minus C1 will give dn plus P. By taking their square, we can find the value. So by this way, if we consider the formula, then here with the help of this equation D, we can find the wavelength of used monochromatic light. And obviously the same formula we can find in case of bright fringe. Means in case of bright fringe, we have to apply this formula. Means 2 mu t should be equals to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. So here, by considering this formula on solving, we can find this formula, means the formula to determine the wavelength in case of bright fringe. So by this way, Newton's ring experiment has been completed.